Welcome, beautiful ones, to our Earth Element Qigong. And this is going to be just a delightful treat. This is going to be a healing experience for all of us in ways that will be revealed. And I am really excited. Like, I'm really have a full smile to be in this circle with you. And while we're gathering here, as we're anchoring in, you know how much it's the medicine and the light and the wisdom that we bring together in our circle and we stitch in, it really just sets the container. And I know we're expecting 2 more people, so I don't want to just jump right in. But at the same time, for time's sake, I do want to jump right in. So let's just take a few deep breaths and anchor ourselves, and we'll stitch in. And when they arrive, they can just float in when they get here. And as we're anchoring ourselves and dropping in to this session, this is the earth element. So we're really bringing in this stable presence, stitching in your presence here. And whatever feels real, it feels like it's a part of your healing process and part of your integration process. And when you feel like you know what that is, you're invited to weave your voice into the circle.
So yesterday, Venus had her conjunction with the sun, starting a whole new Venus cycle, this heroine's journey, this archetype. And it just so happened I got to sit out in my garden and the light parted and I received that light and I was just sitting in the sunlight, that conjunction, that brightness just like pouring down me in my little sacred garden space. And it was exquisite. It was just this, I felt enlightened by this stepping into a new cycle, a new place of potency. And it was just one of those serendipitous moments. I hadn't planned to be in that spot at that time, and yet I was just right there receiving this seeding of the next 20 months, this next journey. And it was just watching it play out today. Like I had like potent session after potent session after potent session with people today. That there's just a depth of potency and vitality that is here. So I'm really feeling that in this moment.
bringing in the potency and the vitality. And just, I loved how you were in your sacred space and you received the light. You were enlightened. That the light, that's part of what we do in the late summer, is we harvest light. And you're doing that, bringing you in. And you always bring in Venus, beauty and love, exquisite. Welcome. Mm.
Today, I am bringing my wild earth magic into the circle with me.
Your
And
wild
all earth magic, yes, whatever that entails. My favorite crystals wanted to come. I kept hearing earth, earth, earth right before when I was gathering everything. So all my friends wanted to be here today with us. My wild earth magic.
Well, we're bringing in some wild earth magic, crystal earrings, all your friends. Hail and welcome.
I am in a period of integration right now. I was trying to come up with my intention for this 8 weeks, and it's kind of hard to think of what the next is going to bring when I'm integrating a lot of big stuff that have just happened. But what has been happening is diving in more to the Earth Mother and bringing stillness and love and wisdom and learning to be in a place of stillness. So then I drew cards today to see if the cards could help me with my intention. And I got very masculine cards. I got the Emperor, I got the Prince of Swords, I got the Knight of Swords. I drew twice because I just couldn't trust the first time. So the first time I got the Prince of Swords, the Emperor, and happiness. And the second time I got the Knight of Swords, pleasure and luxury. And I'm like, okay. So the message here apparently is now integrating the masculine and with pleasure and happiness and luxury. So I'm not sure what my specific words are, but I'm integrating with pleasure and luxury.
Well, let's bring that in. Some divine masculine pleasure, luxurious, noble goodness. And I love how you checked it twice and the message was pretty much the exact same. Beautiful. Beautiful. And Amanda, do you feel like you're in a place where you'd like to stitch in?
Hello. Sorry,
Hey.
I'm still traveling. I have been really just kind of overwhelmed and all over the place lately. A lot of stuff on my plate, and so it actually made the final decision for this class, this session, just over the weekend. And sorry, it's a little loud. So I was hoping to bring in the pieces of the elements to kind of help rebalance and ground me. And help smooth out the things that have been giving me trouble lately. So sorry, it's really loud where I'm at.
It's totally fine. Yeah. Beautiful. Well, let's bring that in, that these elements can soothe out those rough edges in the place that you are and help bring you home into your center in a place of peace and tranquility. That's what the earth element does best. So glad you're here. And I'm stitching in a real sense of peace. Like it feels that the world is spinning. And yeah, and I feel like it's okay. The world's meant to spin. It's supposed to spin. And I can be grounded while it's spinning. And I'm really bringing in the medicine woman. I'm bringing in my medicine woman into this circle, and I'm holding the mirror up and amplifying all of your medicine women step forward in this circle. Beautiful, beautiful light. So it looks like we're all here, and here we are. So perfect. I want to just do this one thing. You know, this is our opening ceremony, so in the beginning I like to just do this little framework to get us centered for the whole season so we can have an anchor point. So when we look back at the end, we can be like, okay, what did we do? Where did we go? And so in this first part, a lot of times it takes a while, and I really want us to, since we know each other well, we've been traveling together, you know, we can drop in and I'm going to ask you some questions. We can journal. If it feels like really potent for you to speak it, then speak it. Definitely when we get to the intention point, it would be really great to hear your intention. But let's just start to dive in. And you know how I like to do this is with a short reading from this book, Between Heaven and Earth. I've been reading a lot of Tao Te Ching lately. I'm going to post some of my favorite books for y'all. This is one of them, but I have a new favorite called The Power of the Tao. Okay, but for this right here, Earth. There is nothing which heaven does not cover, and nothing which earth does not sustain. Chuang-Tzu, 369 BC. And here's just a short little passage. As summer wanes and fall approaches, there is a hiatus, a period which time seems to stop, and the glory of summer hangs suspended. Late summer marks the ascendance of the power of earth, the time of ripening, when all that has grown and matured throughout spring and summer lies ready for harvest. Momentarily free of the cycles of birth, growth, decay, and death. This is a secure time of peace and plenty, during which we appreciate the flowerings of our labor. The spleen, like Indian summer, corresponds with the phase of earth. Receiving and sharing solid and liquid, perceptions and ideas. The spleen incorporates food and experiences into the substance of who we are. So earth element is all about digestion and absorption. And while we're in this place with our wild earth magic and our integration and harvesting the light of the beauty star, the beauty planet, while we're coming to earth to be medicine for our souls, as we drop in and ask ourselves, why did we come? Like, there's a million things you could be doing right now. You know that. Why did you say yes? And what are you hoping to receive from the earth or from this session with these 5 elements? What are you hoping to know? Or how are you wanting to feel? Why are you willing to go from commitment to devotion to your Qigong practice, which is what you've all illustrated? You've all went from, oh, I'll try it, to, oh, I'm going to really show up again, to, no, I'm showing up.
My intention here is this: I really do have this strong desire to work energetically with the elements through my body in a very embodied way, as a means of, I mean, for lack of a better word, for a means of magic, it's not just for me. It's not just for feeling good. I mean, that's a great side benefit, but it feels so much more potent than that. And it's like I want to really know how to feel these elements, energetically embody them for whatever purpose needs to be fulfilled. So in some ways, I feel like I'm holding a huge intention of like, no, I'm ready for the magic. That's what I want.
I said yes because magic. Yeah, that's what I want. I'm ready for the real magic. Yeah. Nice. Nice. Nice.
I really like the way you, oh, I'm sorry.
No, you're perfect.
Really like the way you worded that, Jamie. I had not thought, I mean, I've been slowly building a relationship with the elements, but I hadn't gone there. And I love how we do this for each other, of like bringing the thing that, whoa, that you just opened this whole new world for me when you said that. So thank you. For me, it's been like having some significant psychedelic experiences and getting messages from the medicine, but then feeling very destabilized. And this is why I've gone from commitment to devotion, because I didn't know how, and doing Reiki practice, which is a beautiful practice and very potent and very powerful, but none of these things talk about how to ground it and how to do this with the body. And all of my work with my clients is like, we're so disembodied in our culture, and our disembodiment is also a disconnection from the earth. And I really try to bring people to their bodies, but I needed a body practice in order to know how to do that, and to stabilize the magic, and to be able to not just stabilize it, but show people how to access the magic and stabilize it. And Qigong feels like, yes, we access the magic, but there's this balance, there's such balance to it that we're diving into the earth and into the cosmos. And psychedelics are like, we're going into the cosmos, but we don't know what to do after that, right? And Reiki's kind of like that too. So it's just this balance that's been coming in that's been so potent that I've been able to do so much more with this than I could before I started practicing Qigong.
So you're seeing Qigong enhance your work, your other work. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Personally and with clients. Like, yeah, things are getting, as Jamie put earlier, things are getting really potent.
Nice. Nice.
I feel like we're at the gate, so I should speak at the gate. I think that I'm really holding that childlike curiosity of what's just to come, and holding space for not having an expectation, so it'll just fill in as it's supposed to do magically as it develops. But I also have noticed in that regular practice of having a committed time and practice and dedication and sisterhood, that there is that ability to anchor in the swirliness of just daily life and the synchronicities and just the flowing of the natural magic around. So, and just being able to also learn techniques to be able to recreate, a lot of experiences like, I can't quite recreate that. But I feel like with our Qigong practice, it's like it's creating these pathways in my mind and in my energy field that when I need something, I can just go there and there's like a little toolbox, and it's really beautiful. And I'm noticing it's helping me navigate in many places in my life, emotionally, physically, under stress conditions. Yeah. So that's all I got right now. Thanks, ladies.
I loved how you so perfectly described it. You're carving an energy pathway that you can just source it when you need it. It's like, oh, I've practiced that. I know how to do it. Yeah, so cool.
And also, oh, I'm stressing out. I should do that. Like it's like, oh, I have that tool. Oh yeah, I have something. I can change this right now and I can support myself. It's like I've got a new best friend within myself. It's really cool. So thank you, loves.
Thank you. Yeah, I wrote that down. I have a new best friend within myself. Well, give space for Amanda if you'd like to share now, or maybe share your intention, or I'm going to keep going.
Yeah, so I really resonate with a lot of what everybody already said. And for me, this practice has been helping me to, get in touch with my body, stay in touch with my body, have those tools in my toolkit. And the weekly practice is so important for me, because even though I know better and I know that I have these tools, I always forget to use them. And so it's like this forced time to slow everything down and focus on me. And even if I'm doing crazy things and not 1000% here, I'm still putting that effort towards the practice. And and so it's been very helpful for me in that way. And my intention is kind of, as it's always has been, to work on taking care of myself and leveling that up in all the different ways that are possible. So that's it.
That's brilliant. And yeah, I like how you said taking care of myself and leveling that up in all ways that's possible. Beautiful. Beautiful. And so, like Amanda, you just said your intention so clearly. And this is a great time maybe to pause if anybody did want to write down a sentence or two of a simple intention. Kind of see it how I have this flower pot back here, this clay flower pot. Each season we have a vehicle that we travel in, a singing bowl or a cauldron or a tree of life or a candle holder. This time it's a clay flower pot that's growing medicinal herbs, right? So, or food or whatever you're wanting to grow. So see your intention as that container to hold whatever it is, your healing process, whatever it is you're growing into. And we can maybe share our intentions now, but then also if you'd like to take a picture of your altar, you could share your intentions in the group too. My intention is keep it simple. Be the medicine woman that I am. Hold space for your medicine to thrive, too.
Okay, I'm ready. I'm jumping in.
Come in.
My intention this session, this season, is to be open to the magic and messages the elements have to share, both individually and as a collective energy. Yeah. And I do just want to tip my hat to you, Maria. I'm noticing the cosmic spot we're in, moving from just the last bit of the goddess of love moon until the primal goddess tomorrow. I love it. And Jamie, I know we're moving differently in temple, but we got this whole moon temple dichotomy going on this year.
Well, I think
So
Jamie has her moon mat on the same way that we do, if I
are
recall.
you going with, yeah, me too. So I just think it's really cool how it's a new moon, tomorrow night. Well, I guess early here, I guess for you guys tomorrow night, but for me, Wednesday morning, early, because just the way the clock falls on the earth, right? But I think it's really cool that we're like starting so close to the new moon. We're like in that beautiful new moon energy, and we're working with the earth. So just tipping my hat to you, my love, with all of the beautiful, and Venus and the sun conjunction. Like, it's just like, oh, it's so beautiful. Thank you.
Thanks.
I'm loving all the space magic here, lovelies.
Yeah.
My intention would be it's the embodiment of the elements for the purpose of alchemy and magic, whatever the purpose may be, wherever the need may be. And one of the beautiful things is I've got all of my notes in one file here. I could see the intentions for going back these past cycles, and just the wanting the fire, the aliveness, the body being able to move energy and clear energy, and this is the hardest point of the year for me physically, and I feel good. So I've had some changes happen in some other areas, and it's like I just feel good. So it's just kind of fun looking back over those other intentions. I'm like, here I am. The vitality is here. It is all good. So I'm ready for some magic.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah.
I feel good. It sounded good just hearing you say that. Yeah.
Yeah, I tried to pull a sentence together from my cards and then kind of brought in something that I said to a client today about reveling in the deliciousness of their divinity. So that already came out of my mouth earlier today, unbidden. So apparently the cards are also saying my divine masculine needs to come home. And my dreams are saying that too. So bringing all parts of myself home to luxuriate in the deliciousness of my divinity. That's my intention.
Mm. 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 Beautiful. Whew. Y'all are
We don't play small in this group, do we?
No. No.
I love it.
Nice. And Amanda, you had stated your intention before. Does that feel complete, or is there something more you want to add? Oh, you're here. You made it back.
Yeah, I feel like that's feels complete. Yeah.
Okay. I just wanted to check in. Yeah.
Thank
That
you.
was pretty quick. The earth just brought you home like bam. See how things
Yeah.
are really
so
practical.
so close, almost made it.
That's beautiful. So now we have our intentions. We know why we're here. We have our intentions. We have an idea of the season that we're in. And so, super high, broad brushstroke of the map that we're finding ourselves on. This is this beautiful point. You know that this was intended to be a year long and 5 seasons. So, we're in the 5th season. And so, this is the time, and Earth represents the center. So, we're in the center, and it's this beautiful place where we can be present in the moment without having to be anywhere else. And we also have this perspective where we can turn and look to the past and honor our past for what it is. And we can integrate and receive all the lessons and the treasures from the past, like we excavate the past and learn from them and integrate and release what we don't need. And then we're also at the point where we can look to the future of all those seasons and we can prepare, because this is the time where we're harvesting. And really, if we were farmers and agricultural, we would be preparing for the fall and for the winter. So let's just real broad brushstroke. So partially have it in your mind that you're remembering, and then have it in that you're preparing. So in autumn, we're with the metal element, and we practice our breathing practice to strengthen our immune systems and to process our grief and our sadness, to transform them into courage and confidence. That's essentially what we did and where we're going. In winter, we went into the deepest yin waters of our kidneys to nourish us, and we faced our fears, and we learned to trust the deep wisdom of our roots deep within us. And in springtime, we embark on this new adventure. We're growing through the wood element, the tree of life. We're connecting with our liver, and we're having roots that go down, but we're having branches and our canopy. And now we're able to, when we transform our stress and our overwhelm and our anger, we transform that into vitality and to kindness and generosity. And then we're able to start to produce a fruit. And then in summer, we go into the fire of our hearts, and we transform this like superficial and this busyness into a deep love and a devotion and a connection. And we find a way to be of service and to share that fruit, to share that love with others. And so now here we are in the late summer, and now we're at the place where we're simultaneously present, reflective, and preparing. That's where we are. And so thinking about that, where you are in your life right now, and while you're thinking about, all the things you're learning and all the things you want to have in this experience, let me just share with you really briefly what a harmonized earth element looks like, and then what an exaggerated and a collapsed earth element looks like. And then we can kind of just take some inventory and just see where we are. Okay. So when you think of a person that has a real harmonized earth element, this person is a peacemaker. They're a nourisher. They're a supporter. They're the ones that are always gathering people and saying, come on in. You're a part of the family. Join the group, join the community, join our team, right? They're really relaxed. They're social. They're attentive, considerate, and they're agreeable, and they're oriented to the here, now, present moment. Like they know where they are and what's going on. Now, a person that has earth element that's exaggerated, they tend to be overprotective, meddlesome, worried, overbearing, or they're stuck, or sometimes they just conform, because earth in and of itself is neutral, right? It's not yin or, I mean, yin and yang is always in relationship to each other, but in generally speaking, earth is the neutral zone. So it can conform to anything. But then a collapsed earth element, they become super clingy and they start to like spoil you, right? And then they're scattered and they're wishy-washy. And then and when it comes to the survival instincts of fight, flight, freeze, they're the fawners. The one to, let me make it better for you. Let me just make it better. And now earth element people, this is where they have their challenges in their difficulty. They have a challenge with change. They have a challenge with being self-sacrificing. They have a challenge with being efficient. And they can sometimes be, they have a hard time focusing or becoming aware of their own identity and being independent. And they have a hard time concentrating. And the paradox that they hold is that at one point they love being the still point. But then there's this paradox of feeling stuck. And then wanting to be full. And then the paradox of feeling weighted down and overstuffed and overwhelmed. We want to seek emptiness. But then the fear that there's nothing at the core. Ooh, desiring change. Oh, I want it to be changed, but then really wanting everything to stay the same all the time. And wanting to be needed, but then afraid of being absorbed and losing yourself when everybody needs you too much. So those are just some ways to think about the earth element. And through this whole season, we're going to go through all the elements again. But since we're in earth element, just kind of thinking of being where you are. I don't necessarily really like the scale of 1 to 10, but like you feel like you're in a harmonized place, a little more extreme, a little more collapsed. And having just an awareness of that and maybe taking note of that. So then at the end of the session, of the season, you can be like, oh, see if there's any change or not. And so as we're doing that in the final piece, I'm just going to bring up, because right before we start our practice, and you know this because you've been with me a lot, I got to mention we're on a healing journey and we're going back and looking at our past, which is filled with treasures and challenges, and we're excavating the treasures, but it's all there. Our past is our past. And then we're being present, responding in the moment. And then we're looking to the future, and the future is unknown. And we're in a healing journey. So resistance is going to show up, right? That's resistance of fear or contraction or however it is. We're normalizing that and anticipating that and honoring it. And just taking a moment to self-reflect within yourself, knowing yourself, where you are in your healing journey. How do you see resistance? How do you see resistance showing up for you in this particular journey? And how do you see yourself responding to it? And really, how do you want to respond to it? And how do you even see yourself? And also while you're planting the seed about resistance is, how do you want to take care of yourself when it shows up? And if anybody would like to share, if you feel like you have clarity on that, or if that can just be a journal experience for your own self-reflection, because I feel like we can start our practice here in a moment.
All right, now I have cats behaving badly, and I'm always curious about, what is the microcosm reflecting of the macrocosm. And so I'm just kind of interested, I'm going to sit with this a little bit of like, where is that earth imbalance. Like right now, I'm feeling a little like irritated and frazzled because cats are behaving badly and I can't do really much about it. But how does that play out in larger scales within my family, within my clients, you know, and all of that? So that's just something I'm kind of noticing and holding right now.
And isn't it great for us? Just a small little micro irritation. And that's enough to still to practice with. That's why we practice. We don't always have to practice with full-blown problems. When we get there, we've had these practices with micro irritants. Yeah.
I'm also having micro irritants in my background. My husband's got the oven temperature gauge, whatever, beeping over and over. I want to be like, can you not? So I'm like, I was noticing that as you like, how does resistance show up for you? And then there's this beep, beep, beep.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to get a copy of that, the earth element imbalance, exaggerated and depleted, to really look, because like I was listening, but I feel like I want to spend more time with that.
Yeah, absolutely. That'll be in your practice notes. I don't know if I'll have it totally done tomorrow, but maybe so. Your practice notes, and then I'm also in the process of making a big chart that has a lot of information that it'll just be on your learning portal, and you can like not just earth element, but all the elements.
Yeah, because as I was listening, I'm like going, okay, well, do I fit here? Do I fit here? And I was noticing I had some aspects of kind of maybe even all three. And so then it got me thinking, like, how, if you know, so I'm like very analytical. I was like, am I, you know, 2 in this and 3 in that and 1 in that, you know, and like where am I weighted, you know, am I more this or that, you know, and where are those things at? And so I'm like, I need more time to like kind of see where that's at and feel where that's at, you know, and where I might want to go with that. So that would be cool.
That's beautiful. And so you'll have that in the practice notes, and then always on your learning portal. I haven't really brought it too much to our attention, but on there, if you notice, it says archetypal quiz. When you click on that, it's a PDF, and it's from this book. It's from my teacher, took it out of this book, and then I copied his thing, but anyways, it's from this book. And it is, and you can go through, and it's a lot of questions, and so you can like go through and then you can see like, am I more earth or metal or fire, you know, we're a combination of all of them, obviously, but there'll be one that seems the most prevalent, and then that'll help with your practice. So you have that access in the learning portal, and that archetype quiz is already there now. Okay. So are we feeling ready for the practice, or is there anything else that'd like to be shared before? Okay, so today in this practice, I'm planting the seed and giving you the entire map of where we're going, and we're going to start with our healing sounds practice.